I have no love for He-Man.
I know, but I have no love for He-Man either, but he's got a place in the world in a comic book story.
When I was a kid, I'd watch He-Man and Masters of the Universe when I got home from school.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Now his failure is complete.
I hate to say we were right again, but we were. And how could I say this? This freaking garbage of a TV series to disrespect the fan base of the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. You know, I don't gloat in the situations, you know, I don't throw that F you, I was right. But unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we were right again. And the thing about it is that, you know, when will some of these companies learn that, you know, your fandom is your money making part of the company. This is, you know, you can't disrespect your customers. These are your main customers, your core customers. But before we start, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. We reached in our 430s. We're hoping to get to 500. So if you're doing that, thank you very much. And let's get on with this video. Masters of the Universe Revelation. We discussed this the last time, part 1, went through the 5 episodes, and we really butchered the situation because it was, you know, Kevin Smith lied to us. He lied to us in 4K. You know, said, no, it's not the Teela show, and it's not the Evil Lynn show. It's He-Man. He-Man's in this and all that. And then, you know, He-Man gets killed, you know, in the first part of this series. And then gets resurrected again. And again. You know, this is ridiculous. And the thing is, oh no, he's not sidelined. He-Man's not sidelined. Well, he's sidelined. It is. In part 1, he was sidelined. And now in part 2, we can confirm he's sidelined again. If those of you expected to see a great battle between He-Man and Skeletor, it's disappointing. It's very disappointing. This turns into a point where it just, I mean, this goes completely stupid. Between the zombie creatures and the assertment of more of Teela into this series, basically, and let me tell you something. The origin story of Teela's birth, which was completely destroyed in this series, because if you go back and if you remember a bit, and if you're a fan of the series, you can go back to the episode Teela's Quest, which basically showed Teela trying to find out who her mother is and where she came from. And the way they portrayed it in Masters of the Universe Revelation is that Man-at-Arms and the Sorceress had a relationship, which that's wrong. That's totally wrong. Man-at-Arms found Teela, according to the original TV series. This shows you that Kevin Smith never was a fan.
I know, but I have no love for He-Man either.
Never really looked at the original series as a template because he said, well, it is a sequel, and then backtracked on that. It's a sequel to the series, he says. It's a sequel to the franchise. No, it's not. It's totally not. And the crying in this episode, these last 5 episodes, I mean, everyone is touching their feelings. Come on, really? This is what happens when you allow inexperienced people to take over large franchises like this. I am so glad Mattel will be out of this in another 2 more years. You know, if they do the sequel to this, which I hope not. And the way things are going, it looks like it probably might not be. I mean, there's issues with the end of this, and we'll go through that in a moment. But the elephant in the room, and literally the elephant in the room, is how can I put this? The Heelin or the Evil Man. I mean, what they did to Evelyn when she took over the sword. This is the thing that gets me. The sword was deemed to Adam. No one else is supposed to be able to use the sword, but yet Skeletor used the sword. Evelyn used the sword. Everyone can use the sword? I mean, this is something, this is like, whatever happened to worthiness? It's like, Thor, it's like you have to be worthy to pick up Thor's hammer, and it happens to be like an Endgame that freaking Captain America was worthy, which that I really did not like as much. But still, nonetheless, you can't be handing off powers to anybody throughout on there.
I'm flabbergasted.
You can't be handing off the sword of power. That is ridiculous. If you go back to the movie, the live action movie, even Skeletor didn't even use the sword. He locked it away. He locked it in that device, and He-Man had to rip it out of that lock device. At least the movie, which was okay, not the greatest in the world, knew better not to give Skeletor the sword of power. Even though Skeletor, Skelly God, did look good, very good, I might buy it, because it does, the figure looks good. But what they did to Evelyn, and then the way they ended her, oh, Jesus Christ, a redemption?
I'm flabbergasted.
Come on, really? Then you decided to throw in Lord of the Rings in there with Gandalf the White. What you did with Orko? Come on. You knew Orko was coming back. You knew Orko wasn't finished. But then they made him look like Gandalf the White. Come on. Then you turned Teela into Rey Skywalker, getting into her powers very quickly. Oh. And it's just horrible. And the scripting itself, I mean, there are some lines in here, from Ram Man and a couple of other characters that just was like, wow, really? You're going to go this way? And then the ending. I mean, the ending with that whole digital god and it turns out to be, hey, brace yourself. Turns out to be Hordak.
God damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Wasn't Hordak not available to Mattel? Wasn't Hordak part of the DreamWorks family? That basically it could not be used. I mean, what did Netflix make a deal for this for Mattel that you could not use the She-Ra universe in this series? What happened with that? Really, what happened with that? I mean, this series second half is so bad. According to Netflix, it's not even in the top 10. This show has not even hit the top 10. And this is a holiday week when this was released. That is... How can we put this?
Arrogance and stupidity all in the same package.
It's interesting how these people think and continue to think. It's the same thing like with Cowboy Bebop, the live action. Same thing with a couple other series out there that they continue to make this and think what the fans want. Not realizing this is not what the fans wanted. Oh yeah, finally at the end, Teela becomes the sorceress, which that we knew that was going to happen. Because that was one of the stories that should have been. If they would have went that this was a Teela story, that she's going to become the sorceress, I think the backlash would be not as critical as it is now. The thing is that, you know, like I said, Kevin Smith said, "Oh, I'm a fan," and then got caught 4K on that one. Was never a fan. He always said, "I was never a fan."
I know, but I have no love for He-Man either.
This is what happens. You hear this at Disney, you hear this at Warner, you hear this at everywhere where anybody's made any fan pictures or TV series where they say, "Well, I was always a fan," and then it gets caught and they never read or watched the original IP. They never watched the original series. They never picked up the books. You know, we had that, what was it, WandaVision, you know, the girl said, I never picked up the comic on the characters in the series, so I didn't really know what it was. WandaVision was crap. It turned out to be crap. So, we've reached this part of the video. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you on the next video. Hopefully it'll be a better video, happier, but the way things are going right now, probably the next one's probably going to bash something else too. Until next time, bye-bye now.
Years ago, her guardian, man-at-arms, rescued a victim I had chosen for the sea demon. I now demand revenge!